This footballer's fame knows no boundaries. Mention his name almost anywhere in the world and you've got a conversation on your hands, provided of course that you can speak the language. Flash his photograph and a huge proportion of the planet's population will be able to tell you who he plays for, who he's married to, and the names of his children. David Beckham's phenomenal cross-cultural resonance has made him a superstar in corners of the globe he's never even heard of, and where no one knows how to play football. Miraculously, however, he hasn't let all the hero worship go to his head. More than a decade after becoming a globally recognised household name, Becks is well in touch with his responsibility as a role model to his young fans.
I think the whole experience of wanting someone's autograph is special, especially when you're a little kid and you have heroes that you look up to and people that you want to be and want to do everything that they do. Seeing that famous person and wanting their autograph, it's quite nerve-wracking, but something that, stays with you forever.
Unlike so many of his peers, he hasn't forgotten what it's like to look up to someone. Even now that he's a superstar himself, he's still in awe of the sporting heroes that influenced him. Just like everyone else, he knows what it means to be a fan.
I've been lucky in my life and in my career. I've met so many great people, and Muhammad Ali, people like that, Michael Jordan. So there's quite a few that I've got that I'm proud of. Also, when I was young, and my heroes myself that I got, Brian Robson. So I was lucky.
It's this humility, along with his generosity, poster boy looks and sensitive smile, that makes Beck so universally appealing. The son of a kitchen fitter and hairdresser, his refusal to get swept away by his ever-increasing fame may go a long way towards explaining not only how he worked his way to the top, but also how he's managed to stay there. From the mid to late 1990s, it would be fair to say that David Robert Joseph Beckham was known for one thing and one thing only: his footballing ability. Playing for re-emerging powerhouse Manchester United, Becks and his famous right foot earned superstar status by consistently piercing the opposing defence, either to set up goals for others or to score himself. Now approaching the end of his footballing career, after playing for numerous A-list clubs and captaining his country through 2 World Cup campaigns, the 6-foot midfielder from Leytonstone is more popular than ever. Despite his sparkling record on the pitch, which includes being the first English player to score in 3 World Cups and play 100 Champions League matches, as well as twice finishing runner-up for FIFA World Player of the Year, the majority of David Beckham's fans have never seen him play a game of football. That's because over the years, Beck's ball skills have become increasingly overshadowed by his off-field endeavours. These days, he is perceived as a businessman, fashion icon, heartthrob, charity campaigner and father who occasionally plays football. No matter where Beckham touches down, an ever-swelling media circus and swarm of fans will be there to meet him. Europe, America, Asia or Australia, wherever David Beckham roams, Beckham mania is sure to follow. His marriage to Posh Spice, aka Victoria Adams, on July 4th, 1999, marked the beginning of the world's fascination with everything Beckham. And since then, he seems to have become public property. Whether the topic revolves around his game or his private life, everyone has an opinion about Becks. During January 2008, Italian design house Giorgio Armani showed the whole world why Becks was known as Golden Balls, as they shamelessly unveiled their new underwear collection on the streets of Milan. The ads, which feature a nonchalant Becks sporting nothing but the new designer undies, warmed up a few passers-by on a chilly winter afternoon, some of whom were made to feel a little inadequate. However, Italian men aren't the first to feel intimidated by David Beckham's ability to impress the opposite sex. Back in 2003, when the Beckham entourage hit Japan, legions of local men concluded that it was useless trying to compete with Becks and began mimicking his metrosexual style in an attempt to enhance their chances with women. With more than 1,000 young female fans flocking into Narita Airport to welcome him, it was probably a smart move. So fanatical was the Japanese response to the English sex symbol that nobody seemed to care what he was famous for. As long as he smiled and waved, they were happy.
It doesn't matter what he does, he is just so cute.
Although such unhealthy obsession might unnerve the average Joe, sending them running for the nearest exit to escape the horde of hysterical fans, Becks seems at home with all the attention. And although he has frequently been criticised for his lack of eloquence when speaking in public, there is no doubt he knows exactly what to say to keep the fans coming back for more.
I love the people because the people are always amazingly friendly to me, and I have many fans here. So it's I love the people, I love the food, and I just love being in Japan because it's an amazing country with amazing people.
5 years on, Beckham's popularity throughout Asia was still soaring. However, on his recent visit to Korea, his fans had done their homework and focused more on their appreciation of his football skills than on what he was wearing. Whilst touring with his club side, the LA Galaxy in South Korea, the former England captain held a youth training session in Seoul. Greeted by around 40 enthusiastic wannabe Beckhams, the real deal patiently and affectionately looked on as the children unveiled a large mosaic photo wall made from 2008 different pictures of him to mark his visit. And before getting stuck into the session, Becks welcomed the adoring fans.
안녕하세요. Whoa! I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for being here as well. I hope you enjoy the day. I hope the children and everybody enjoys the day. And thank you.
As the eager children threw themselves into the skills training session with their hero, each of them tried their hardest to bend it, well, like Beckham. Mentoring the children through a day they will no doubt remember for the rest of their lives, Becks was more than happy to pass on some of his trade secrets.
The most important thing is that you get a good strike on goal, and you make sure that you put it in a corner where the goalkeeper can't get to it. And the most important thing is, the way you run up to the ball and the way you strike the ball. That's the most important thing. If you get a good strike on the ball, then you've got every chance of scoring.
By the end of the training session, the very accessible and approachable megastar had earned himself even more devoted young fans. One awestruck 11-year-old was already planning to fly halfway around the world to get a second glimpse of his hero. I would like to meet Beckham again. I felt amazing when he taught me. I will visit London and will see Beckham again. Beckham's passion for the game is evident in the years he spent playing and promoting it. However, his footballing skills have given him much more than a career. They've offered him a golden opportunity to help those less fortunate than himself. Less than 1 month after touring South Korea, Becks was back in America to attend a charity gala with fellow soccer icon Pelé. The Black Tie event, a $1,250 a plate fundraiser at Gotham Hall, aimed to make $600,000 to help Harlem Youth Soccer Organization build a soccer field for its players and develop an after-school soccer and leadership training program. During the day leading up to the gala, Beckham spent time in Harlem and saw how the power of football can transform the lives of children who have grown up in hardship.
The kids' faces changed when they run onto the field and when they got a soccer ball. So, you know, to have that passion that they showed just within, 2 hours of being down there, it does change people's lives.
Ever grateful for his boyhood opportunity to train at the Bobby Charlton Soccer School, Beckham's belief in the positive power of football led to the establishment of the first two David Beckham academies, one in the London borough of Greenwich and one in L.A. Since 2005, they have been offering a range of training programs for boys and girls. Academy students are trained in all aspects of a career in football, from what to eat to how to exercise and how best to deal with the media. In early 2008, Beckham travelled to Brazil to announce his intention to open a third academy. The ambitious David Beckham World of Sport has been designed to function as a professional sports complex and will include 8 soccer fields, a 10,000 capacity soccer stadium and facilities for other sports like golf and tennis. Beckham proudly stated that the facility will also incorporate a scholarship program for Brazilian children that will actively reach out to schools in the region.
I'm very proud of the ones that I've got in London and also in LA, but I've always also said that I want to take it to other places around the world, and where better than here. It's an amazing place, very passionate about the game, very passionate about football, and I'm very proud to obviously be part of this.
Having ploughed plenty of that passion into the designing and planning phase of the complex, he wanted to prove he was in it for the long haul.
It's going to take a while, but I think that it's going to be one of the best facilities in the world. We're going to be able to obviously have children come down to the academy and enjoy themselves and play in a safe place. And also we're going to be able to have the facilities to have, top football teams from all around the world to be able to come down here and spend their pre-seasons or, just have a break. So it's going to be something special.
And it's not only the man himself who believes in the work of his academies. British Prime Minister Gordon Brown recently called a meeting with Beckham to discuss the benefits of sporting programmes for the young. The PM was keen to visit the Greenwich Academy himself to see whether anything from their training programmes could be picked up and used in broader physical training programmes in schools throughout the country.
I've been talking to David Beckham, who's done an inspirational job in setting this up, about how we could extend these facilities so that children and young people in all parts of the country could benefit. They can benefit from the coaching, they can benefit from the chance to get tips about fitness, they can benefit from the media courses. And we want every child in every school in the country to get the benefit of new sports facilities and to get the benefit of the chance of doing sport. And I think David Beckham can make a huge difference in making that possible.
With obesity and other health concerns increasing across the globe, the physical activity, healthy eating and social interactions touted by the David Beckham Academy could go a long way towards solving some of these issues. A keen football fan, Mr. Brown didn't waste his opportunity to catch up on all the thrills and spills of the former England captain's international playing career. But while Becks was honoured to be invited into the Prime Minister's official residence, the thing that excited him most was the boost the PM's visit had given his beloved academy.
I think he's very positive in everything that he wants to achieve. I think that he welcomed me into number 10 and made me feel, like I said, very welcome, and spoke about different things that he wants to achieve and different things that he wants to achieve, not just obviously with the country, but with myself and with the academy. And that's special because I've worked hard to get the academy to be successful, and like I said, to be invited to number 10 and also to have the Prime Minister come down to the academy. I'm very proud of that. So, I believe that he's doing great things and he will do great things in the future.
Clearly, the admiration was mutual. But then Becks had already won himself plenty of brownie points in his triumphant role as an ambassador for London's bid to host the 2012 Olympic Games. Beckham's dream to see the Olympics return to his hometown for the first time since 1948 came true on July 6, 2005. with the announcement that London's bid had been successful. As a reward for all his hard work, Becks was awarded the honour of representing England at the closing ceremony of the 2008 Beijing Olympic Games.
Incredibly proud, to be British, of course, to be part of such a historic night for our country. It's incredible, I've been honoured to be part of the Olympic bid and now honoured to be part of the closing ceremony and the handover. So now on to 2012, but tonight's about the people that have worked hard to get it to this point, so they'll have a great night, but there's still a lot of hard work to be done, but we're looking forward to that.
Although the 2012 Olympic Games will make a wonderful showcase for London and Britain on the world stage, Becks believes there's far more to it than that.
I really noticed it being in London last week, seeing the hype and seeing everything that kids wanting to be involved in. You see kids out running on the streets and, doing different things and cycling out there, so it just gets that excitement from children and from so many different people in the world, and I think that's what's great about the Olympics. It has that excitement that can change people's lives.
At the Beijing closing ceremony, Beckham joined veteran Led Zeppelin guitarist Jimmy Page in helping London take the reins as host of the 2012 Games. During the ceremony, Beckham was handed a football and was asked to kick it into a crowd of athletes. As humble as ever, Becks made no secret of the fact that even a great sporting star like him still gets nervous at big events.
And were you scared about missing when you kicked the ball?
I was actually more scared of dropping the ball when I held the ball up. I knew I'd be all right kicking the ball, but it was the holding the ball up and dropping it was worrying me.
However, it's not only sport-related causes that Beckham finds time for. In April 2009, he joined young tennis star Andy Murray to mark the launch of a new charity called Malaria No More UK. Malaria No More aims to end suffering and death caused by the preventable disease, which threatens half the world's population. Beckham, who is the proud father of 3, found an immediate connection with those who suffer from the disease.
Malaria obviously is one of the biggest diseases that causes so many deaths around the world, and especially in Africa. When I first heard the statistics with malaria and with children under the age of 5, it automatically makes you think of your own children.
Pregnant women and children are the most susceptible. In Africa alone, malaria kills more children under 5 than any other single disease. The sports star's bid to raise awareness about the disease started with the message that a mosquito net can be bought and delivered to a family in Africa for as little as a few pounds.
It's £5 for a net, so something like that is such a worthy cause, and it makes you feel good when you realise what you're doing around the world to save people's lives.
The non-profit organisation's goal is to ensure that all those at risk of contracting malaria in Africa have access to a bed net by the end of 2010. With all the hype, marketing and entrepreneurial activity that engulfs David Beckham off the pitch, it would be easy to forget that his real job is playing football and that he's actually very good at it. While all the outrageous hairstyles and raunchy fashion ads have been earning him style icon and sex symbol status, it's what he gets up to on the football field that defines the real David Beckham.
Yeah, I like fashion, but I prefer football. I prefer playing football. But, like you said, I'm very honoured for people to look at, what I wear and like what I wear. But the most important thing for me is the soccer. Then the fashion comes after.
It's no secret that David Beckham started his football career with Manchester United under the tutelage of Sir Alex Ferguson. Becks' epic career at Old Trafford began after he was signed as a trainee on July 8, 1991. At just 16 years old, neither he nor the fans had any idea of what lay in store. A mad Manchester United supporter as a child, Beckham's fantasy of playing alongside some of his childhood heroes materialised when he came on as a substitute for Andrei Kanchelskis in 1992. The game against Brighton marked Beckham's debut as a United player. With ageing warriors the likes of Paul Ince and Mark Hughes holding the regular spots in the team, it wasn't until the 1995-96 season that Beckham finally started seeing some regular Premier League action. The following season saw Beckham wear the number 10 shirt, but not for long. When the king of Old Trafford, Eric Cantona, retired from football in May 1997, he was handed the coveted number 7. Beckham's acquisition of the hallowed number 7 shirt was met with grumbling disapproval by many of the club's fans, who felt he was not worthy to follow in the footsteps of the likes of Brian Robson and George Best. Despite the rumblings, Beckham's football skills and profile continued to improve at a lightning pace. In no time at all, Becks was playing for his country, but it wasn't all chocolates and roses for the future England captain. His red card in the 1998 World Cup stole most of the headlines for that year. Although his shameful sending off didn't cost England a goal, many supporters chose to make him the scapegoat for England's early elimination from the competition. And England's former golden boy had suddenly become the black sheep. His fall from grace made him the target of hysterical criticism and abuse. An effigy of Beckham was hung outside a London pub, and the Daily Mirror printed a picture of a dartboard with his face in the bullseye. To make matters worse, Beckham also received death threats after the World Cup, and rumours started doing the rounds that he would have to move overseas to continue his football career. To his credit, Beck stayed strong and loyal to his much-loved Manchester United for the best part of the next 5 years. Then, early in 2003, rumours spread of growing tensions up at Man U headquarters between Sir Alex and his famous number 7. The story went that Sir Alex had grown tired of the toll Beckham's extracurricular activities were taking on his football. He was said to be frustrated with the midfielder's inability to commit 100% to the game. There were also whispers of a locker room incident during which a stray boot connected with Beckham's head, moments after parting with Sir Alex's right foot. In the end, they both agreed a transfer would be the best solution, and Becks headed for the warm Mediterranean sun of Madrid. The same Man U fans who had doubted his worthiness 6 years earlier went into mourning at the devastating news. As the most marketable sportsperson on the planet, Beckham had done a lot more for the Red Devils than play cracking football. There was his global profile and the sheer revenue that the Beckham brand brought to the club. With him on the team, United could count on crowd numbers, merchandise sales, and even television ratings to skyrocket. And that kind of value was worth paying the big bucks for, whether or not he could kick a ball. And he could. Although it can be argued that there were better goal scorers at the time, and possibly even better midfielders, there was never any doubting Beckham's supremacy when it came to taking free kicks and corners. Although his trophy haul may not compare to the likes of Ronaldinho, Kaká and other modern greats of the game, his bank balance undoubtedly offers plenty of consolation. While playing for Spanish club Real Madrid, Beckham was on a weekly income of $240,000, or around $12.5 million per year. Some football followers viewed this huge sum as something of a slap in the face for the more talented players who were taking home considerably less. Despite the criticism, Beckham remained as courteous as ever. Refusing to let the controversy get the better of him, he only ever spoke of his Real Madrid teammates with great admiration.
Well, I'm lucky enough, the players that I admire, I play with, so, to have them players and to look up to players like that, like Ronaldo, Zidane, Figo, Roberto Carlos, Raul, to have them all in the same team as you, you can't ask for better than that.
As well as his enormous playing ability and star power, it was his media friendliness and polite attitude that caught the eye of US team LA Galaxy. and after appearing 113 times for Real, he announced his move to the land of the free. His ability to lure sponsors, draw big crowds and sell merchandise is unmatched by any other footballer, and the MLS were glad to grab a piece of that pie. In fact, whilst at Real Madrid, it was reported by Forbes magazine that over his 4 years with the Super Club, he had been a major factor in the team's huge increase in merchandise sales, a total reported to top $600 million US. Enticed to the US by the LA Galaxy to help boost the profile of their club and Major League Soccer with a 5-year deal, Beckham has so far proved to be the right man for the job and is excited to be a part of it.
Potentially in the States, soccer could be as big as it is everywhere else around the world. And I believe, and I'm very proud to be part of that and going to be part of that for the next 5 years and maybe a few more years later. So,
Despite being injured for the majority of his first season, his presence around Hollywood and the US has created exactly the kind of hype that the MLS desperately needed. His paltry $7.7 million a year salary constitutes a massive 40% pay cut on his Real Madrid handout. But it's fair to say that Beckham's move to the US was motivated by more than his weekly pay packet. The opportunity to escape the relentless media would not only give himself and Posh a break, but also give his 3 children a chance at some sort of normal childhood. Aside from a few injury concerns, Beck's on-field performances have been solid, and he's enjoyed playing with his new teammates.
I'm aching a little bit, but I'm ready for the game tomorrow. Hopefully my ankle will hold up like it did like in the game the other night. It felt good, it felt strong. And I was happy to be back playing. You know, it's been a frustrating time.
The frustration continued for Becks, his teammates and the LA Galaxy supporters when in the final MLS game for the season, they were knocked out of playoff contention with a 1-0 loss against the Chicago Fire. After a mediocre first season, Becks was given a chance to redeem himself with a tour down under. After first playing in front of a capacity crowd in Sydney, Beckham and his new teammates travelled to New Zealand to play the Wellington Phoenix in yet another sold-out stadium. On arrival in New Zealand, the entire Galaxy team was given a traditional Maori welcome known as the Pauhiri by the indigenous people of New Zealand. Beckham was delighted.
It's amazing, it's very honouring for us as people and as a team to have that welcome. So, you know, we all enjoyed it and all the players have been talking about it since we arrived. So it's made a huge impression on us.
In early 2008, with the former captain now approaching his mid-30s and playing amongst a lower standard of players in the US, England's new manager, Fabio Capello, decided to omit him from the national team, leaving Beck stuck on 99 caps for his country. To nobody's surprise, Beckham's former boss, Alex Ferguson, stepped up to applaud Capello's decision, reigniting the rumours of a Ferguson versus Beckham feud.
I'm not surprised. I mean, I think that what Fabio was correctly said, that he says he's not match fit. And then that is really the reason he's not picked. And there's no other reason. I think that's straightforward. And also he's way down his marker quite firmly. He wants players who are match fit. And David, of course, has not played any football, and that's the reason.
Arsenal manager Arsene Wenger also backed the England manager's decision, but gave a little more insight into the reasons behind it.
Capello has worked with Beckham. He knows him very well. And he is at the moment in a situation where he thinks, I need to know, really have a good view on players who I found interesting in my championship and want as quickly as possible to have a look at these players. And after, I can come back to Beckham when it is needed to go into competitive games. But before that, I want really to have a good view of some players.
Beckham had been hoping to play his 100th game for his country in a friendly against Switzerland.
My career's sort of been ups and downs, and when I've had highs, they've been extreme highs, and when I've had lows, they've been extreme lows. So, you know, that's part of of my career and part of my life, and it's part of many players' lives these days. But you know, I'll be very proud to hopefully reach that 100 cap and also get it out of the way, because everybody's been talking about it for so long. It'd be good to get it and then move on, hopefully.
While the doomsayers were all predicting that Beckham's international career was over, his former teammates were confident he would return and reach the big 100.
David's had a lot of adverse situation in the past, ups and downs throughout his career for whatever reasons, and he's always come back fighting and kind of stepped over them challenges, and I'm sure he'll be doing his utmost to do that again. He's a very talented footballer.
As realistic as ever, Becks knew what had to be done to make it back into the squad.
I would love to reach the 100 caps, but I have to be physically ready to be part of the team.
Beckham's first priority had to be to get back on form. His absence from the game due to injury had given him an early taste of retirement, and he didn't like it. He still had a passion for the game and was keen to continue playing, no matter at what level.
Like I said, it's more important that I carry on playing, let alone, you know, reaching the 100. You know, I'm passionate and I'm ready to carry on playing, so we'll just have to wait and see.
Once again, Beckham went on to prove many of his doubters wrong. And after playing solid football with the LA Galaxy, he was finally recalled to the England squad by Capello for a friendly against France on March 26, 2008. And before playing for the 101st time for England against the USA at Wembley, Beckham's enormous feat was acknowledged with the presentation of an honorary gold cap to mark the passing of his 100th game for England. The gold cap was presented by Sir Bobby Charlton, and the crowd sealed the historic achievement with a standing ovation. Finally back playing for England, Becks knew that he had to play at a higher club level than the US could offer to compete on the international stage. His opportunity came when AC Milan agreed to take him on loan from LA Galaxy. Despite the inevitable rumours that this meant he would soon be moving on from Major League Soccer, Becks was adamant he would be staying on at the US club at least until the end of 2009. He made his debut in Serie A for Milan against Roma on January the 11th, 2009, and lasted for 89 minutes of the 2-2 draw. In his first 4 matches for the Italian club, he scored twice and set up numerous other opportunities, proving there was still life in the old legs yet. And after the club doctors had handed down the verdict that he could be fit to play comfortably until 2013, AC Milan were keen to secure the services of the superstar midfielder on a more permanent basis. Bargaining on the attractiveness of a move to Milan which could strengthen Becks' position in the English squad, Milan management reportedly offered to buy him from the LA Galaxy. Apparently, however, their bid fell short of the mark. In late March, Beckham played for his beloved national team for the 109th time, surpassing Bobby Moore's record and becoming England's most capped player ever in the history of international football. With the 2010 FIFA World Cup on the horizon, the veteran midfielder had his sights well and truly set on qualification. Despite being in a tough draw, he remained characteristically optimistic.
You know, we believe that we're going to qualify, but we know that there's a lot of hard work to be done, and you know, as long as we work hard as a team and stay together as a unit, we'll have a good chance. But you know, no one's going to guarantee us qualification, but if we work hard, we've got the players to qualify.
Beckham's longevity in the game is a testament not only to his talent, but also to his determination and dedication. He made his first £1 million many years ago and has long since earned more than enough money to set him and his family up for life. But still, he's kept on playing. Dogged by injury, harsh criticism and big disappointments, his commitment to the game remains as unshakable as ever. While very few footballers have ever drawn praise for their sartorial style, one player consistently finds himself near the top of the world's best-dressed list. With a lot of help from his Spice Girl wife and avowed fashionista, Victoria, David Beckham has undoubtedly become the most sought-after celebrity clothes horse in the world of male fashion. All stubble and ruffled sensitivity, his impossibly photogenic looks and buff body, combined with his killer smile and smouldering charisma, make him a marketer's dream. No matter what the product is, if Beckham's face or name is on it, it will sell like hotcakes. At least that was the theory behind a Chinese manufacturer's 2008 decision to produce a range of condoms named after the football superstar. Clearly, the brand's marketing objective was to cash in on Beck's currency as a sex symbol, as well as his prowess as a goal scorer on the football field. Even without securing David Beckham's permission to use his name, the condom became the market bestseller in China. So revered has the boy from Leytonstone become as a trendsetter, style guru and fashion idol that his well-documented trips to the hairdresser and tattoo parlour have spawned an endless parade of copycat styles among Beckham wannabes.
You know, the public look to newspapers, to media, to TV, to the football pitch, to wherever for their influences in fashion trends and, you know, haircuts and all the rest of it. When Beckham had a Mohican, so did everybody else, and etc. And it's the same with tattoos, I think.
While mothers everywhere may cringe at the thought of their teenage sons coming home from school with a replica of Beck's guardian angel across their shoulders, there is no denying his influence, which in the world of capitalism translates as marketing power. Over the years, the one-man marketing machine has collected an amazing array of endorsements. Regularly seen in adverts by sponsors Adidas, Pepsi and Armani, he has also been featured in lesser-known ads by Go3 Food, Meiji Almond Chocolate, Tokyo Beauty Center, BP Castrol Lubricants and Brylcreem. Vodafone was one of the first big sponsors to jump on board the Beckham bandwagon. But when they failed to meet an agreement in 2005, it left the door open for mobile phone competitor Motorola. Years later, Motorola is still merrily shelling out millions to have Beck's help shift their products. Although he has starred in many ads over his long career, the commercial shot in March 2009 is one of his most risque. Shot in Milan and directed by music video director Anthony Mandler, it features Beckham's on-screen transformation into a Terminator-like robot. His new look includes a red laser eye, a visible skeleton and arteries which have been superimposed onto his bare chest. Beck's didn't seem to mind removing a few layers of clothing for the job.
The shoot's been great. You know, I always enjoy doing Motorola shoots because I think it's something that's always done in a different way. And of course, working with Anthony Mandler, I think is, you know, he's very inspirational and very passionate about what he does. So, you know, his inspiration will come out in the pictures and also the videos.
And the LA Galaxy superstar is never shy about giving a plug to one of his sponsors' products.
I think it's a great phone. You know, it's a stylish phone. It's something that, you know, you could get excited about. It's something that's special and something that's different. I think Motorola always do that. You know, they're always coming up with different concepts and different ideas and special things about phones. So I think it's exceptional.
While the Motorola ad may be a little futuristically outlandish, Beckham is no stranger to dressing up or down for advertising campaigns. He has previously dressed as a Roman gladiator and a prince, and of course, more recently he stripped down to his underwear in a high-profile ad for Armani. Surprisingly, Beck's admitted to being a little bashful before the shoot.
I've done quite a few photo shoots before, but I've never done any in my underwear. So I was slightly, you know, I wasn't sure about the whole thing, but, you know, with working with Marcus, they made me feel really at ease, and it went pretty well.
And after that, there was no stopping him. He and Armani took their steamy show on the road, and in June they hit Oxford Street in London to unveil the enormous poster of Becks and his jocks to his country folk. Thousands of fans turned out to catch a glimpse of their hero in the flesh, who, as always, was more than happy to sign a few autographs. This time, Becks seemed a bit more comfortable with the photos.
It was important that we had the best and created the best pictures, and we've done that every time. And the most important thing is that, you know, every shot and every campaign has been different. There's always been a theme involved. And you know, they've made amazing pictures.
One lucky fan got more than just an autograph. A kiss on the cheek was definitely worth the long wait in line.
I've just seen David Beckham, and because of the love of my life, I'm like a bit shaky, as you can probably still tell, but amazing, unbelievable.
And no doubt she hasn't washed that spot since. While it may have been the first time he'd ever officially modelled underwear, it certainly wasn't the first time Becks had posed semi-naked for the cameras. In July of 2007, he and Victoria gladly peeled off their clothes to take part in a steamy photo shoot for W magazine. The snaps by Stephen Klein show the pair in various states of undress, kissing passionately, sunning themselves atop a car, and enjoying an intimate moment in the bedroom. It offered the public a rare opportunity to assess the sexual chemistry of one of the most powerful couples in celebrity history. Ever since their first meeting at a Manchester United game in 1997, the private and professional lives of Posh and Becks have been front-page fodder for magazines and tabloids throughout Europe and Asia. Since making the move stateside in 2007, their notoriety has spread like wildfire through the US, aided and abetted by Posh's much-hyped friendship with Katie Holmes. By August 2008, Beckham was topping magazine polls for having the best abs in Hollywood. All the free publicity hasn't gone unexploited, with a list of A-grade sponsors ranging from Emporio Armani and Police to Sharpie pens and fragrance house Coty queuing up to throw money at them. The Beckhams came in at number 3 on Forbes magazine's list of top-earning Hollywood couples in 2008. But not only have David and Victoria carefully nurtured his portfolio of sponsorships and endorsements, they've also started creating their own labels. At Macy's Herald Square in New York City, the power couple launched their new fragrance, Beckham's Signature, in September of 2008, much to the delight of the legendary department store Macy's as well.
Macy's Herald Square is really excited to welcome David and Victoria Beckham launching their newest fragrance, Beckham's Signature. Welcome.
Excitement from the fans turned into hysteria as Posh and Becks took to the stage to launch their range of his and hers fragrances.
Hello. We just want to say thank you so much. The turnout has been absolutely phenomenal, so thank you so much for queuing up for so long in the rain. It's great for us to be here. We're very, very excited and looking forward to meeting you all. So thank you.
And there's plenty more where that came from. In April 2009, Adidas announced a deal with Beckham to launch his own line of menswear. At last count, the David Beckham empire was estimated to be worth around $225 million. Throughout his ever-evolving career as an elite footballer and a global fashion icon, one thing that has remained consistent about David Beckham is his devotion to his family. As well as keeping him grounded, no doubt it's one of the important characteristics that have earned him his status as a global role model and sponsorship magnate. Married to Victoria since their £500,000 wedding at Luttrelston Castle on July 4th, 1999, and the proud father of three, Brooklyn Joseph, Romeo James and Cruz David, Becks has always done what he feels is right for his family, which is not to say that he's enjoyed a spotless record. Back in 2004, it appeared his decision to leave Posh at home to try and salvage her singing career while he went to Real Madrid might have been tempting fate, when the News of the World published claims by his personal assistant that she'd had a torrid affair with Becks. Having already employed the services of master media manipulator Max Clifford, Rebecca Luce stood to make £1 million from spilling the beans on Britain's most adored public figure since Princess Diana. But since suffering the slings and arrows of the gutter press in the wake of that alleged affair, a much wiser David Beckham has been determined to steer well clear of the stalking paparazzi. Many commentators suggest that his hostility towards the intrusive and relentless British press played a large role in the Beckham family's decision to move to LA.
I think living in America, the best thing that us as a family have enjoyed is the positivity and the friendliness to not just to me on the soccer side, on the work side, but obviously to us as a family as well. The kids are really happy, Victoria's happy. As a family, it's been amazing for us, so there's not one negative thing at the moment.
Although Becks took a hefty salary reduction on signing with the Galaxy, earning a dismal $142,000 a week, which equates to around a 40% pay cut compared to his Real Madrid earnings, he cleverly constructed a deal that delivers him a percentage of LA Galaxy's matchday revenue and merchandise sales. Despite all the upheaval, the Beckhams' move to LA could not have gone more smoothly. They were welcomed to Tinseltown with a star-studded bash thrown by their new pals Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes. Going over with the intention of growing the Beckham brand and giving their three children some sort of normal upbringing away from the pressures of the Spanish and British media, Becks couldn't be happier with the transition. With an endless parade of red carpet appearances, award ceremonies and product launches to dress for, it's no wonder that Victoria is also having a ball.
I love America. People say, how long did it take for me to adapt? About an hour. I mean, I really, really like America. The American people have been so kind and so good and so welcoming. Our kids are happy. David's happy. David's first game back actually will be on the 16th of July here in New York. So he's very excited to be coming back, and we're just really, really happy as a family here. Very excited to have him back. It's great.
In mid-2008, Brooklyn, Romeo and Cruz got to go on the Teen Choice Awards, where Dad was nominated for Male Athlete of the Year. To the whole family's delight, David won the award and brought the three boys on stage. Clearly at home in front of a large crowd, young Cruz performed an impromptu breakdance solo. Backstage afterwards, Becks was asked who taught Cruz the moves.
Not me. No, he went on tour with the Spice Girls for 6 months, so he learned from them.
He was also asked whether he and Victoria might be thinking about expanding the Beckham brood.
Of course, we're always, we love kids. I've always, and Victoria's always wanted a big family, so why not? But we're enjoying our three boys at the moment, and who knows?
Clearly enjoying life, Becks looks quite at home in LA, although he claims to miss English food. Even a few poor seasons with the LA Galaxy haven't seemed to worry him.
It's been a great move for us as a family. We're very happy. I was asked the question, someone said to me the other day, I heard you're going back to England because you're not happy. It couldn't be further from the truth. As a family, we're very happy. My wife's happy. Children are happy living here in the school. Who couldn't be? Hopefully this year it'll be more successful on the field.
With the US at his feet, a loving family to support him, a new network of A-list friends to recommend him, and hundreds of millions in the bank, Leytonstone's favourite son has laid the foundations for a life in the spotlight that will stretch way beyond his footballing career. Whether he branches out into acting, commentating, fashion design or diplomacy, he can be sure that cameras will always be there to document the highs and lows of a global superstar who knows what it takes to get to the top and how to stay there.
Yeah.